We're good. Thank you, Lonnie. This morning in our series Early Awareness, we look at the relationship between mother and daughter when both have battled and survived breast cancer. Actress Cynthia Nixon, best known for her role as Miranda in Sex and the City, is a breast cancer survivor, as is her mom. And this year she's an ambassador for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. She joins us here this morning. Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
When did your battle with breast cancer begin?
In just about 2 years ago, October of 2006, I had a completely routine mammogram, and there was just a little something that looked funny to them. And luckily, even though I was 40 at the time, luckily I had been getting mammograms since I was 35 because my mother had cancer twice. And they said they wouldn't have thought anything of it. It was so small, but it wasn't there on the previous years. So in my case, starting my mammograms early because I had a family history of it might have, been really life-saving.
Because you had a family history, were you tested to see if you had the breast cancer gene?
I was, and I don't.
So you can have breast cancer even if you've been tested and discovered that you don't have the gene?
Yes, yeah. I mean, a very small, many more people have a quote-unquote family history of it rather than carrying the gene.
So what did you take from your mom's battle that you used in your own battle with breast cancer?
Just very much the idea, certainly even more nowadays than when my mother was diagnosed almost 30 years ago, that this is not a death sentence. This is, a medical problem, and luckily we have a lot of great things that can knock it out. I mean, if you can catch breast cancer before it spreads beyond the breast, there's a 98% survival rate. So, yeah.
And what was your treatment? Are you still having treatment?
I had a lumpectomy, and I had 6.5 weeks of radiation.
And you still on medication?
Yes, I'm still on medication for about another 3.5 years.
And then, God willing, you're done.
Yes, I hope so.
You have a daughter.
I do.
How do you think this will play into that? What will you tell her about the fact that her grandmother and her mother have had breast cancer?
I'll tell her because she has a history of it in her family. She has to have due diligence and listen to her doctor about when she should start getting her mammograms and do it very faithfully. But I hope that I can pass on to her what my mother passed on to me is the thing to do is to really be on top of it. And if you're on top of it, your chances are very good. The thing that you want to avoid is not getting your mammograms, or if there's something questionable, not following up on it, because that's really when you can get in trouble.
You kept your diagnosis secret for a long time. You even scheduled your surgery for a Sunday. Why did you do that, and why have you subsequently become such an advocate?
Well, I really didn't want it public while I was going through it. I was also in a play. I didn't want everybody coming to the play at night, and that's what they were thinking about rather than the character I was playing. And also, I didn't want there to be photographers, at the hospital when I would go in every day for my radiation. And I wanted to get a little ways out, because when you tell someone that you've had breast cancer, what they want to know is, and are you okay? Right. And it's hard to say, like, well, I just finished my radiation last Tuesday, I'm great. But when you can say, I'm 2 years out from my diagnosis, things seem to be going well. And also, it was kind of a perfect opportunity, because I was looking for a way to speak about it publicly, and then Susan G. Komen, not even knowing I had had cancer, only knowing that my mother had had it, approached me about being a spokesperson. I was like, this is a great organization. This is absolutely the way to do it.
How perfect.
Yeah.
Looking back now on Sex and the City, they didn't know it when they had Samantha.
No, well, and it was Samantha's cancer. Samantha's fictional cancer was a number of years before my real cancer.
Looking back at that plot line, is there anything that you would change about it?
No, I mean, I thought that was so great. But of course, Samantha's experience was very different than mine. It was much more dire, and she had chemo and lost her hair, and much more serious.
Good to see you doing so well.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in, Cynthia.
Thank you very much.
When will we see you again on the tube or on the big screen?
Well, I have a film coming out next year called Lime Life, and I'm going to do a play this February at the Roundabout called Distracted.
We'll look forward to it. Thank you.